Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Taylor Sheridan has only directed 3 movies in his career, and I know exactly what film he should make next. Taylor Sheridan is often cited for his work on various neo-Western TV shows like Yellowstone and Landman, but the showrunner has also done time as a film director, and there's one potential project that would be perfect for him. Sheridan first got his foot in the door of the entertainment business in the 1990s when he began accruing minor roles in shows like Veronica Mars and Sons of Anarchy. In 2015, he tried his hand at screenwriting and found incredible success creating dark, action-packed stories. Now, a decade later, he is a certified television mogul. It is true that series like Yellowstone made Sheridan a household name, but his projects outside of television are just as notable. Sheridan wrote and directed the critically acclaimed neo-Western movie, Wind River, starring Jeremy Renner and Elizabeth Olsen. He also recently wrote and directed Those Who Wish Me Dead, which sees Angelina Jolie as a smoke jumper in the Montana wilderness, desperate to save an abused child. Yet, aside from these great projects, Sheridan's most important film achievement would have to be his role as screenwriter for the 2015 action hit, Sicario. Because of Sheridan's work on Sicario and its sequel, Sicario, Day of the Soldado, it only makes sense that he would step up to direct the third movie. Sicario was originally directed by Dune extraordinaire Denis Villeneuve, but the director left the franchise after the first movie, meaning the likelihood of his returning for Sicario 3 is slim. Thus, the next person who has the directorial skills and the best knowledge of the film series is Sheridan. After directing 3 movies and various TV shows, Sheridan is well equipped to take on this role. At the moment, Sicario 3 is in a sort of limbo. The movie was initially announced before the 2018 release of Sicario, Day of the Soldado, and was given the title Sicario, Capos. However, in the intervening years, the movie has seemingly faced obstacles in its development that have prevented it from coming to fruition. Although rumors have flown about casting in recent years, nothing of substance has actually been confirmed. In this way, Sheridan taking on the role of director would come as a major relief, since the movie could easily fall into unfamiliar hands. To be fair, Sheridan becoming Sicario 3's director partly comes as a result of Villeneuve's exit. At first, Villeneuve was confirmed to be directing Sicario, Day of the Soldado alongside Sheridan as screenwriter. However, just a few months after the film's announcement, Villeneuve exited the project and was replaced by Stefano Sollima. It isn't entirely clear why Villeneuve left the Sicario franchise, but it could have to do with the fact that he was chosen to direct Blade Runner 2049 around the same time. Fortunately, Sollima benefited from having Sheridan remain as an original member of the crew. With Villeneuve gone, alongside lead actress Emily Blunt, there is no doubt that Sicario, Day of the Soldado felt different from the first film. Aside from focusing more on Benicio del Toro's character, the movie lacks some of the masterful flares of Villeneuve. To some, this may have seemed like a death sentence for the sequel. Yet, Sicario 2 did manage to succeed, even without certain big names. Sicario, Day of the Soldado earned a 62% on Rotten Tomatoes, and was praised for its sleek style, grim atmosphere, and intense action sequences. It was good enough to merit Sicario 3. That being said, it would be better to be safe than sorry when it comes to Sicario 3. Rather than putting the sequel in the hands of yet another new director, the movie should only happen if Villeneuve decides to return or if Sheridan takes on the director's cap. This way, Sicario, Capos will have the same feel as the first 2 movies and won't deviate too far from what made the original good. Part of Sicario's success was the magical chemistry between the leads in the crew, and to lose that for yet another sequel would be frustrating. Now, it is unclear whether Sheridan would actually be willing to direct Sicario 3. At the moment, Sheridan has his hands full with various TV shows, ranging from Mayor of Kingstown and Tulsa King to 1923 and Landman. Then again, that didn't stop Sheridan from directing Those Who Wish Me Dead in 2021. Ultimately, Taylor Sheridan may be too busy at the moment to take on a movie with such high expectations, but fortunately, having him back on the team would make the wait for Sicario 3 totally worth it. It might surprise fans of modern westerns and gritty Americana to learn that Taylor Sheridan, the mind behind Yellowstone, Hell or High Water, and Sicario, has only directed 3 feature films. Yes, 3. The man who's redefined what we expect from TV dramas about ranches, lawmen, and outlaws has been shockingly selective with the director's chair when it comes to the big screen. But perhaps that's what makes each of his directorial efforts feel so grounded, so unflinchingly sharp. Sheridan's 3 films as a director, Wind River, 2017, Those Who Wish Me Dead, 2021, and Vile, 2011, which he's since distanced himself from, are all distinct, but the ones he truly stands behind, Wind River and Those Who Wish Me Dead, carry his unmistakable voice. He's a master of atmosphere and moral ambiguity, painting stories on backdrops both brutal and beautiful. So with such a tight directorial resume, the question becomes, what should Taylor Sheridan direct next? I've got the answer. A modern-day Western heist thriller set on the Texas-Mexico border, starring a woman at the center of the story, a sheriff caught between justice, loyalty, and survival. Let me explain. The setting, borderland tensions and beautiful desolation. Sheridan excels when he situates his characters in unforgiving terrain. Whether it's the freezing silence of the Wind River Reservation or the wildfire-scorched forests of Montana, landscape matters in his films. So his next film should take place along the Rio Grande, in one of those sun-bleached West Texas towns where the law is thin and the dust never settles. It's a region Sheridan knows well, both geographically and tonally. He's written around it before, but this time, let's go deeper. Let's see the collision of cartel operations, DEA politics, and small-town survival through the eyes of a single, deeply personal story, one with high stakes and no easy answers. The hero, a female sheriff with a secret. Sheridan's best characters are the ones stuck in impossible situations. Think of Corey Lambert, Wind River, carrying grief and guilt like a second skin, or Marcus Hamilton, Hell or High Water, tracking criminals with a slow, simmering wisdom. But rarely has he given us a woman at the center of the narrative, not just a supporting role, but the soul of the film. This is the perfect time to change that. Enter Sheriff Elena Vargas, a third-generation lawwoman in a forgotten Texas border town. She's respected, if not exactly beloved. She plays by her own rules, and her badge means something, though it's wearing thin under the weight of rising cartel threats and federal neglect. When her estranged brother, a former cartel mule turned whistleblower, resurfaces and begs for her protection, she's faced with a dilemma. Turn him in, protect him, or let him disappear again. What follows is a tightly wound thriller that plays like No Country for Old Men meets Wind River, with the border acting not just as geography, but metaphor, between law and lawlessness, family and duty, revenge and redemption. The themes, morality, legacy, and the cost of silence. Sheridan's strength lies in exploring the blurred lines of morality. His characters are rarely clean heroes or outright villains. They're survivors. They're bruised people making bad choices for reasons that almost make sense. Sheriff Elena would be no different. Her journey could unravel buried corruption in her own department. Maybe the town's prosperity was quietly built on cartel money she chose to ignore. Maybe her badge gave her cover, but not peace. Maybe protecting her brother means exposing herself and everything her father stood for. Sheridan knows how to write tension that simmers beneath the surface. The kind of tension where a quiet coffee shop conversation can carry more weight than a car chase. Imagine the slow, verbal chess match between Elena and a slick federal agent with his own agenda. Or between Elena and the cartel enforcer who remembers her from when they were both just kids on opposite sides of the river. Every scene could crackle with moral complexity. The look, harsh light, and deceptive beauty. From a cinematic standpoint, the film would be gorgeous. Sheridan's visual collaborators, like cinematographer Ben Richardson, have a way of making natural landscapes feel like characters themselves. The desert sun, the long shadows of oil rigs, the quiet menace of abandoned motels, all of it could reflect Elena's inner world. There's something inherently cinematic about the American Southwest, especially when it's not romanticized. Sheridan doesn't do glossy. He does grit with purpose. He does beauty that hurts a little. This setting would give him a whole new palette to play with.